Off. All right, what's up, everybody? So we got an action-packed week. My name is Brian Rhodes. It's Thursday night, May 2nd. May 1st, I don't even know the dates anymore. April 30th, we had Rev CEO on. Now we have Rally, aka Rally, soon to change. I don't know the name. I don't know what it's going to change, but as far as you know it right now, and I know it, it's Rally. It's a video conference uh, company brand that is basically going to take over what we're on right now. Like, there's no point to be on Zoom when this launches, in my opinion. And you're going to hear from our CEO of that brand, which is, I'm so excited that he is the CEO. I've been following him since I first put my toe into network marketing, and it was in a skincare company that I still have never worn skincare in my life. But when I saw him do it, and I was like, I mean, he doesn't really wear it either. So I just liked the business side of it. I liked what he did and how successful he was there. I don't know what you went on to do after that, Darin, really, but it was more, I've seen you just coaching people and teaching people how to be successful in network marketing and public speaking and just being a professional, uh, I guess, coach. And that's what I've seen over the years. And when you were able to speak and I heard about it, I always jumped on and listened. He always is full of gold nuggets and just kind of teach people how to make things simple. And he just very, very good at doing what he's doing. So for someone to come on, he's out in Hawaii right now, and to give us his time in Hawaii, because if I was in Hawaii, my phone might not work. I'm sorry, but it's really helpful to have him on, because in 8 days, this node, and we're going to talk about a node here. This node is currently $2,500 for the next 8 days. After that, they even said on the town hall meeting that it's going to jump up $1,000. So you basically, and after 8 days, it's going to be $3,500 if nobody buys it more and makes it jump up even more. So, one thing I've learned, and Darin, you're probably gonna repeat this because you taught me this, is you'll never get this node cheaper right now, and you'll never be able to produce more digital rewards, aka tokens, than you will be at the very beginning. So that's one thing that I've learned here, when people are like, well, when's it going to market? And I'm like, I don't care if it's even listed yet. I'm going to have more tokens than I can ever possibly have. And then when it goes, I have a huge fat bag, if you know what I mean. That's crypto stuff. I got a big portfolio of that token. So Darin, thank you for coming on. I made you co-host. If you want to share anything, go right ahead. Looking forward to hearing this presentation about Rally. Guys, get your pencils and your pads and take some notes. This is going to be awesome.
All right. Well, I appreciate that, Brian. How is my volume? Is it okay?
Yeah, you're perfect. Probably sound way better than I do.
Oh, no. Appreciate that. Yes, I'm out here in Kauai, which is interesting because I was out with a lot of the Connect family here just 2 weeks ago. Never been to Kauai in my life, been to other islands, but not Kauai. And here I am back in twice within 2 or 3 weeks. And what's amazing is that, one of the community members, right, who helped start Gala Games, we're just about 10 minutes from two of his houses that we hung out at a couple weeks ago. And I'm sure that Billy will tell you that one of them he bought from Carlos Santana. One of them he bought from Peter Drucker. And it's paradise. It is absolutely amazing. Tomorrow, I'm speaking at a mastermind, Rob Sperry's mastermind out here in Kauai. And so I'm actually supposed to be speaking, but I told him I had a Zoom to do. So I may have to run back and do that right after this. But we're going to go out and tour the ranch tomorrow. There's a 250-acre ranch with beautiful rivers, and you can go swim in the waterfalls. And it's just a horse ranch. There's 100 different type palm trees. It's just beautiful. And so to be able to, first of all, thank you, Brian, for inviting me. Thank you, Billy. Thanks, Ryan, for putting in your great input in the beginning. I always love just being able to spend time with family members, and that's exactly the way that I look at this group. Your family, and what I want to do is, Brian had some great things to share about me, and I really appreciate that. It's very humbling, and I think it's important that you kind of know my story, not because it's important about who I am, but I think it's important to hear the journey of what took me to right here, because that's going to affect your belief. I believe personally. And your belief drives your actions, and your actions drive your results. And so what happened with me, yes, I was in the I've had multiple backgrounds. I've had franchises. I was in network marketing for 28 years, and I was very blessed to build some big teams of hundreds of thousands of people that did hundreds of millions in revenue, travel all over the world. And I was had my own personal event in Virginia. We had about 4,500 people just a few years ago, and most companies don't have a convention that big. We had a personal event that big, thanks to a bunch of great leaders, right? It's never one person. Anybody that tells you they got to the top on their own, they're not being honest to you, right? It's like if you find what's the old saying? If you find a turtle on top of a fence post, you know it didn't get there by itself. And so it was never just about me. But the point is, I've been very blessed in doing speaking, training, being on an advisory council with John Maxwell, being interviewed by Grant Cardone. I've been very blessed to do some pretty cool things in my life. But what most people don't realize is that 25 years ago, I was bankrupt. I was on government assistance. I couldn't feed my family. My car was repossessed. And so this has been a true blessing to be an entrepreneur and to be able to create a dream lifestyle. And so what I love to do now, I love helping people. And that's what I love about video conferencing. Like, you can't really fake video conferencing. You can see my eyes, you can hear the energy of my voice, the passion. Like, it's pretty easy to tell if somebody is not being authentic. Well, what happened was, after leaving the network marketing, selling my franchises, leaving the network marketing profession to be a coach, speaker, and trainer, and spending a lot of money, because that's a different profession. Right? It's one thing to have franchises. It's one thing to be a distributor. It's a whole nother thing to learn the coaching, training, speaking space. And so over the last several years, I put multiple six figures into that space, and then launched my own book, and we hit #1 on Amazon and all that cool stuff. And why do I tell you that? Because I put all of that on hold when I found what you found. I go, look, pause everything, change my websites, which cost me a lot more money, because I don't want to do, I do not want to miss one single day of where we are right now. So here's what happened. Tony Swantek, a lot of you know Tony, and Tony's been a great friend of mine. I was speaking at an event, the PGA National. He was doing an event. We ran into each other in the hallway. I believe it was a God thing. He flew me out. We were looking to do some stuff together. And I knew he had been successful, but I really didn't know how successful, because he doesn't put it up, right? He didn't put a whole bunch of stuff on social media. But I will tell you, you probably can't see this, but at the very bottom, I saved this voicemail from him. And it's from 8/23/2021. 8/23/2021. And Rob said, look, when I call people, he goes, when I believe in something, I believe that I'm offering you opportunity or regret. He doesn't tell him that, but that's in his mind. Well, my mom was sick. She ended up passing away. I didn't call him back. And he was saying, look, I'm launching an accounting company. And he goes, I'd love for you to be a part of it. And we're going to do big things. Because I didn't return his phone call, I indirectly chose regret, because the people that I know, the friends of mine that joined him, made $50 to $100 million the next 2 years, each year. Right? His company did 10 billion with over 2 billion in receivables. He has a credit card processing company doing several billion a year, and oil wells and real estate, and ink delivery company a delivery company that ended up being an Inc. 500 company that merged with delivery.com, that now he's the #1 franchisee in the world. So I know some successful people, but not too many people that have more than one company that's done several billion the last 2 years. So when he asked me to go check out, hey, look, you want to fly with me to Utah, hear about blockchain and nodes? I'm like, Tony, I have no idea what a node is. I don't understand. I don't even know what blockchain is. I've heard about it, but I don't know what it is. And he goes, but if you're asking me to jump on your private jet, go hang out with some billionaires and learn, I'm all in. And that's what I did. It was like a fire hose of information. I don't know if any of you can relate to it, but the first time I heard about it, I was more confused after I heard about it than I was before. I'm like, well, obviously this is not for me, right? And what's funny is I was out there and they were talking about a trip to Kauai. And I'm like, oh man, what do you have to do to go to that trip? And they're like, well, you need to go out, and you and then some people you introduce sell $260,000 in nodes. I'm like, and this is only a few months ago. I'm like, I don't know one person that would ever buy a node, right? That trip is not going to happen for me. But then I just started total immersion. I started watching videos and learning about the blockchain. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the blockchain is actually growing faster than the internet in 1996. Oh my goodness, when when you put up that initial resistance, when you go, that's probably not for me, what they don't teach us in school, that is when you should really pay attention. If people go, man, I wish everybody saw what we see. No, you do not. Because when everybody sees what you see, the opportunity to do what you could do now is not going to be there. It'll be an opportunity, but not like it is right now. Let me give you an example. There's a German philosopher that said that opportunities go through three phases. Number one, they're ridiculed. Number two, they're violently opposed. Then number three, they're self-evident. But only 3% of the people get involved in the first two most profitable phases, which is ridiculed and violently opposed. So would you rather go back to the late 80s where I go to Lisa and I go, hey, Lisa, you want to buy this thing called a cell phone? And she's like, well, what is that? Well, it's a big phone. It's about the size of a backpack, and you're going to bolt it in your car. Well, Darin, why would I do that? Is it cheap? No, Lisa, it's actually several $1,000s. Okay, well, then it must be really good. It must have really good reception. No, Lisa, it's terrible reception because there's only a few towers here and there. Well, it must be cheap to operate. Nope, it's several dollars a minute, and there's a huge monthly fee. Lisa's like, Darin, you're an idiot. Well, the guy that I know that saw the vision in the late 80s in Northern Virginia, where I live, AT&T paid him millions of dollars in the early 90s for 12 little 300 square foot stores that were losing money. So would you rather sell cell phones now where everyone knows what it is? You don't have to convince people. Your 2-year-old can operate it better than you can, right? Or would you rather go back knowing what you know now to back then? So let's say I go to Ryan, and this is years ago, and I go, hey, Ryan, you know how we were raised never to jump in a car with a stranger? Remember that? Our parents taught us that. Well, I've got a great business model. What if we pay strangers to jump in their car? Ryan is like, Darin, you're an idiot. That's never going to work, right? We all would have said that. That was Uber. What about strangers staying in your home? That's a crazy thing to think about. Airbnb. So now we're sitting here going, the largest taxi service in the world owns no taxis. The largest restaurant service, DoorDash, owns no restaurants. The largest hotel service owns no hotels. So I'm like, if they would have taught us how to recognize an opportunity, and this is growing faster than the blockchain back in 1996, and vision is seeing it before the masses see it. Then I see an article from the World Economic Forum that says that blockchain will disrupt $867 trillion, trillion with a T, in traditional businesses. And I'm looking at this shift. And I heard someone on an interview called the digital gold rush, where now we're seeing the Bitcoin halving just happen. They're saying it's the most important one ever. And you look at what has happened in the past, every time there's a Bitcoin halving over the next 12 to 24 months, there's normally a huge bull run. Can't guarantee it, but let's look at the past. You're looking at the ETFs, right? You're looking at not only the ETFs, but the names like BlackRock and Fidelity and all these big names coming on board. Now, not just the ETFs in the US, but also in like Hong Kong and South Korea and all these different places. We're walking into businesses that now go, we no longer accept cash. Like everything is going to more of a digital currency and blockchain and the crypto world. So when I saw all of that, I'm like, this is everything I've worked for my entire life. No, there's no guarantee. Well, is this high risk? Yes. Is your job a high risk? Ask my daughter-in-law. College degree, lots of money to go to college. Kids have massive college debt, but yet my daughter-in-law was one of the top out of several hundred people at her company and just got laid off. And they have an 8-month-old baby, our granddaughter, right? That's pretty high risk. How many people do you know that worked a job from the time they graduate where they think they're going to until they retire? I don't know of any, right? And then if they do, would it or does it have the potential to create the lifestyle that they want for their family? So everything is high risk in my opinion, but does it have the potential for me to go out and create the dream lifestyle that I want for me and my family? So when I jumped on this about 2.5 months ago, I started going, you know what? Everyone I know, love, and care about, I want to know about this. Because I had a friend of mine in the past named Vicky, very close friend. She goes, Darin, I want to smack you. And I'm like, why? She's like, why didn't you call me when you joined the company that you made multiple 7 figures in and did all these great things? I'm like, Vicky, I didn't think you'd be interested. She said, you shouldn't have thought, because we were looking for something. We were praying for something. And if you'd have offered it to me and I said no, then it was on me. But you didn't give me the ability to even tell you no. So that's my thing now. I really don't care if my friends and family do it or not. Matter of fact, I've tapered my excitement when I talk to them, because I don't want them coming back going, Darin, I only did it because you were so excited, right? I want them to make that decision. Somebody the other day goes, Darin, what do you say when somebody keeps coming back with this, that, whatever? I go, I tell you what I say, don't do it. It's not for everybody. Maybe it's not for you. I'm not going to convince someone. Amateurs convince and professionals sort. My job is to educate you, offer you the gift. You decide if you want to open it. There's no guarantee in anything. So with that said, when you look at the blockchain, and the reason that we're really excited, the project, we were going to call it Rally, but we're going to call it our link. Like, I'll send you our link, kind of our link, but it's the letter R, like Rally, our link. And with that, you go, why do I believe this will be one of the biggest projects? Because I love Revo rides. I love Rev rides. Because if there's anybody out there that can do it, it's definitely Tony, right? Tony and Paul, because Tony launched a delivery company back in 2016, and you need a customer, you need a driver, you need a restaurant. I mean, there's a lot to that. So if he created an Inc. 500 company, merged with delivery.com, and now he's the #1 franchisee in the world, now all you need is a driver and a rider. That just makes sense to me, because why would someone not choose Rev Rides when it's cheaper? The driver makes 30% more, right? And you're earning rewards by doing that. That makes total sense to me. But you do have to open up cities. You do have to go through borders and all that stuff. When the reason that I believe our link or Rally will be a massive door opener, what I love about all of these projects, we support one another. It's not like Ethereum has thousands of projects, maybe that's 600 really solid ones, but they kind of compete against one another. Here, all the projects, we're helping one another. I've got Rev nodes, I've got, Switch node, I've got, Galvin, I've got Grow. All of these, we love them, and they're all supporting one another. But the reason that I think this will be one of the most, in my personal opinion, we're going to grow extremely fast. You can decide if you agree or not. It's easy to understand. Video conferencing. Since the C word, right? We know how that went. Everyone is comfortable with video conferencing. Like companies, most companies, they're never going back to where they were before. They're more of a hybrid model. So now when you look at the video conferencing space, it's growing faster than ever. It's more accepted than ever. Companies know it increases. They look at it as increase in productivity. Okay. It's that hybrid model of the companies that are using now. Every entrepreneur, how many people do you know right now, whether they're an affiliate marketer, a network marketer, an influencer, real estate, no matter what it is, we're all using like video conferencing. But yet, if they have a centralized platform, we did a Zoom a couple months ago with the CEO of a $1 billion bank. And he's like, look, it scares me to no end, because if our bank gets hacked, it's one location. They pretty much get everything, right? All of our information is in that one location, no matter what it is. But if it's on the blockchain and it's decentralized, and there's a piece of your information over here, then there's hundreds and thousands of random computers, and there's a piece over here and a piece over there. It's much safer. It's much more secure. So not only is it easy to share video conferencing, it's easy to understand, it's easy to promote, and then none of us have loyalty to any platform. If tonight Brian had sent out, hey, look, we're going to meet on GoToWebinar. We're going to meet on GoToMeeting. We're going to meet on Microsoft Teams. We would have clicked the link. We don't really care. But if you're earning rewards every time you do a meeting, are you ever going to let anyone send you a meeting link again? Like, no, let's just use my link, because you're earning rewards by using the platform. And then you're earning rewards by referring other people to use the platform. And then you can use your rewards to pay your subscriptions, right? And so It's exciting to know how easy it is to share, easy to promote, easy to understand. And it's a door opener, in my opinion, because now all of a sudden they're in the space and they're going, hey, what's this grow? What's this grow? What's this Rev Rides? What are these other projects? So I love the project. The sales are already showing that you all love the project because we all missed Zoom. As far as I know, none of you are founders of Zoom. We all missed Uber, right? As far as I know, none of us were in the beginning of Uber. But here we have the ability to have a platform that can go head to head with the other platforms, that's easy to share, easy to promote, easy to understand, and you're earning rewards. It's that simple. It's like we don't need to go through some massive presentation that talks about a million different things. Now, an update on the platform. We're doing multiple things right now. We're actually looking at acquiring some technology from another company. I won't say too much. Please don't ask me any questions about it. I can't say, but this company spent several years and millions of dollars, right? And we're looking at bringing that on board. We're branding. We're putting the website together. Rev Rides was several months ahead of this project. They started several months before we did. Okay. So when people go, hey, do you have a video? Do you have this? Do you have that? No, we're in the beginning stages. But when you purchase these nodes, and I will tell you, I don't know what the price is going to be by May 10th. I can tell you right now, it's probably a minimum just off of the sales from what I'm looking at, $1,000 higher than what it is right now. So 2,500. So as soon as we launch May 10th, it may be 34, 3,500. It may be 4,000. There may be one. We're having some people come in and buy 100 nodes themselves. And so if you're looking, because the way the nodes work, there's 100,000 nodes in all the projects. Wins a little bit different. Every 100 nodes, it goes up $100. And then there's 50 billion tokens, rewards in each project. The very first year, 25 billion are released. So when you purchase the node, and today is the last day, I forget what day it is. Today's May 2nd, right? So depending on when you're watching this, if you buy 5 of any one brand, you get 1 for free. So if you go 6 nodes for 2,500 times 5 and you average that out, you're never going to get it cheaper than that price again. So you're getting the node at the lowest price. Once we start, and here's the thing, if we launch in 2 days, if we launch in 10 days, if we launch in 2 weeks, we're going as fast as we can. I promise you. We want to put on millions of subscribers. We have companies that have thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of employees that want to start using this. So our goal is to build a monster platform, a monster business, and we're all the owners. I don't own the project. You own a node, I own a node. We're all owners. We're the community, and we're going to let you vote on what you can want to get rewarded on and all this other great stuff. But the great thing is now being able to get these. And by the way, just a side note, Squirrel, in the cart, if you're using your credit card, a reminder, you can only do up to $10,000 per transaction in using a credit card. So that would be, I think, 3 nodes plus your gas fees. So if you're going to do the 5, you need to do more than 1 transaction. But if you buy 5 of any one brand, you get the other one free. Now, go to the frequently asked questions and you will see all the details, right? And I don't know if someone has I will look for it here in just a second, but I have a link. Brian, do you want me to put the updated link for the FAQs?
Yeah, if you would, that'd be great. If you have I'll go on there and look.
Okay, I think just double check and make sure this one is the most current. Oops. But that should be all the FAQs because they have the free hosting promotion. They have all of that stuff, but we have till tonight. And again, I'm 6 hours behind in Hawaii. So make sure you check the FAQ for, when that promotion ends. All right, let's see if there's anything else that I'm missing. So we're going to be launching the project ASAP. You having your node, whether we launch it 5 days from now or May 10th, as fast as we launch it, because we're working around the clock, you will have your node available to turn on day 1. You're not going to be able to host it, just like Rev Rides, until the project actually launches. But you're going to be able to say, hey, look, I was a part of the founding nodes. Like I was one of them that saw the vision. I was there day one and turned on my node the day the project went live. Okay. The day the blockchain went live. And so, Brian, is there anything else that I'm missing? Because again,
Just
sometimes we
what day is it
overthink too
going
much.
live? What day is it going live?
Well, that's what we're working on right now. So again, I don't want to overpromise, but I can tell you the reason that I can't give you a date yet because we're looking at acquiring some additional things that will even enhance it that much more.
I dropped in the chat. It's till tonight at midnight Mountain Time. So that's
Perfect.
1, 2 o'clock Eastern, depending on where you're at. Midnight Mountain Time.
And by the way, you guys, the reason I don't want to give you, I'm the type of person I like to over deliver and under promise. And again, Rev Rides has had months ahead of us. This project is newer, but we're moving extremely fast. And so I am blown away by the people that are a part of these projects in the Connect community. When I get on my weekly call with Blockade, which is a decentralized legal team, and we've got people on Blockade like Ken Cuccinelli, that is the former attorney general for the state of Virginia, was head of Homeland Security for the United States from 2019 to 2021. When I'm on with the developers, and we got several hundred of the best developers, in the world, when you have the different divisions, when they're putting together the charters, and, we were out here in Kauai here, a couple of weeks ago, you got somebody from the Swiss governance. I mean, it's just the people that are putting these things together. It is a major operation. But the good news is that we've done 500 billion transactions with their blockchain projects, the timing of the Bitcoin halving, the timing of the ETFs, BlackRock, Fidelity, all the smart money, the big money coming on into this space, the World Economic, all of the things are working together. To me, it's like the perfect storm. And then we go out as a community. We're the ones that build the project, right? We're the ones that go out and we drive customers and we work on all of that stuff. So it's pretty exciting. So anything else that I'm missing, Brian?
No, I was just shooting some video of you while you talk. I think you did a great job. You went over everything. And, like Darin said, I mean, you're going to get this node for our link cheaper, like the cheapest it'll ever be. And it'll produce the most tokens ever once you get it online. We don't know that date, like he said, when it'll go online, but listening, my sponsor is Billy Womack. And, when he got Gala Games, he got it so early, it didn't even go online for months. Then it went online and he's like, whatever. And then he opened up his wallet and it had $10 million worth and started crying. So he's glad he got on
Hey,
there.
Brian, and you made a good point there. You're not missing. If we launch today and you can operate your node or operate it 5 days from now, you're still getting rewards from day one. You're not missing out on days. When we go live, you go live. And Tony tells the story. He was there with those guys in 2018, I believe it was, with Gala. And Tony's like, yes, I want $10,000 in nodes. And then Tomas called him back, said, look, we're refunding everybody's money. We're running late. And some people are not happy, right? Some people are impatient. And Tony's like, no, don't give me my money back. I want my nodes. I don't care when you launch. I want to be a part of day one. He said, no, it's easier to refund. Boom, press the button. He goes, Tony, just call me back in a couple weeks or whatever, and we'll repurchase your nodes. Tony got busy. Tony forgot. Though that $10,000, depending on when he sold his rewards, he lost $5 or $10 million. So keep in mind, I don't care if it's this project, if it's any other project, we could wait 2 or 3 years from now. We could wait 5 years like we did in Gala, right? Where now the node, if you can get one, is over $100,000 and it's halved every single year for the last several years. It keeps halving every single year. Or we're the pioneers that are a part of something like right now going, man, this is exciting. Like you're putting all of it together and you're branding and you're getting the trademarks in place and you're doing all of these cool things. And I would have loved to have been there back when Zoom did all of that. But now you come on, it works perfectly and everything's branded and everybody knows what it is. And exactly. But I would rather be back when they hadn't launched. They were going through all the things they were going through that we're going through right now. So it's all perspective. There's a difference when you're a pioneer. There's a difference when you're in the ridiculed and violently opposed, like and then self-evident. But if you look back at cell phones and Uber and Airbnb, or Tony, when he launched delivery, they're like, you're going to go head to head with like DoorDash and Uber Eats and all of that. Have you lost your mind? Right? They're billions and billions of dollars, but he had the vision and he went out there and they did that. So I appreciate you having
Hey,
me on.
Darin,
Yeah.
Yes.
Ryan Lelf here. How are you, buddy?
Awesome, Ryan.
Hey, quick question for you that I think would be valuable. You mentioned that when you first got introduced to this, obviously your relationship to Tony got you in the door because you talked about you didn't really know a whole lot about cryptocurrency. You didn't really know what the blockchain was, and you definitely weren't familiar with the node. There's a lot of people that are in that same boat. You know, it sounds exciting. Their friends telling them they can make a lot of money, but they don't really know what that is. What is your input or your advice to those people who go, I mean, it sounds great, but a lot of things sound great. I don't really understand this. How do they get over that hump? How can they get to that place where a light bulb can go off and they can go, okay, I got to pay attention to this? Because I really believe if most of us are able to live another 20 or 30 or 40 years, this transition into everything being on the blockchain, everything being tokenized, everything converting over to digital currency, it may end up being the biggest change of our entire human existence during this 50 to 100-year period. And yet right now, we need to help more people get over that hump. So since you were the guy who needed to get over the hump, what would you say to people? How can we help more people do that?
Well, I would say, it's your perspective. That's why I gave the ridiculed and opposed and self-evident, because they don't teach us that in school. And for example, I get into my Lexus, I press the button and it starts. I don't know how, but I like it and I drive it, right? Like none of us probably understand how the code works on this Zoom platform right now, but we're using it and we're grateful for it. None of us, if you would have told us years ago, hey, Ryan, hey, guess what? Man, there's going to come a point in the future where we're going to be able to hold a box up in front of us and you're going to be able to look at someone and talk to someone on the other side of the world through airwaves. We'd have been like, dude, what are you smoking? Like, what kind of drugs are you on? Like, that's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. That's Jetson. I saw that on the cartoons and that's showing my age. So when it comes to, just understanding that you're not going to understand it all, right? There were people that saw the internet. When it first came on, people were like, well, who owns this mysterious thing called the internet? No one owns the internet. Well, how do I get on this magical highway of information called the internet? AOL sent out little CDs that allowed us to jump on the internet, right? So when you look at Connect is like an on-ramp for the blockchain, which is the highway to transfer value. So it's all about understanding that opportunities go through three phases: ridicule, violently opposed, and then self-evident. Most people don't see it. That's why I love the quote from Helen Keller when they ask her what's worse than being blind, having sight with no vision. Or the late Dr. Miles Monroe said sight is a function of the eyes, vision is a function of the heart. And so vision is seeing it before the masses see it. And what's fascinating is if I go hang around my broke friends right now and that are struggling and all they do is talk about the economy and the president and how bad taxes are and this, that, whatever. Well, if you buy people's opinion, you buy their lifestyle. When I'm hanging out with people like a Tony who has the ability to see things before they happen, because again, having multiple companies that have done billions, being able, he's just got a gift. I don't have that gift, the gifts that he has. You don't have the gifts that I have. I don't have the gifts that you have. We all have our gifts. So it's finding someone that's done what I want to do and then listening to those people. And John Maxwell says, if you can't change the people around you, change the people around you. One of the biggest, and the reason I got to run back and speak here really quickly in just a minute, is that one of the biggest aha moments that I've had the last several years, we can be mentally enslaved or handcuffed by the people around us and our environment and not even know it. And let me prove it to you. How many of you, by a show of hands, have ever broken away from a relationship or a group of people or anything? And once you broke away, you're like, how did I not see that? Anybody ever experienced that? So that's what I'm saying. When you start changing the people around you, everything changes, right? When you change your circle, you become who you hang around. You catch who you're close to. So my thing is, you're doing what you should do right now. You're like, look, a parachute only works when it's open. Your mind only works when it's open. So I'm not promising anybody anything. When I'm talking to my friends, I'm like, listen, you make your own decision. Well, I don't know. Yeah, if they start debating me, I go, don't do it. If you don't feel good about it, don't do it. It's okay, right? There are people before that I went to, and I go, listen, I want you to know what I'm doing. It may or may not be for you, but I want the people that I know, love, and care about, and I respect to know about it first. I don't want you coming back saying, if you knew, why didn't you tell me? So when you have that posture, when you truly believe, I only started just a little over a couple months ago. I started just telling people, hey, listen, I really care about you. You're my friend. If you knew about this, I don't want to see you at Christmas and you go, why didn't you tell me? Like, you really knew about this? Darin, I thought we were friends. I don't want you coming back to me saying what Vicky said to me, which is, Darin, I want to smack you. I don't, you decide, just like Tony. Tony never called me back again after that about that. He offered me opportunity. He offered me regret. By me not calling him back, by me not taking action, I chose regret. And I'm the only one that can blame me for that. So right now, we have such a society of people that want to blame everybody. They're a victim for everything. When I went bankrupt, for a long time, I blamed the guy that walked off building my house. I was debt-free and perfect credit and money in the bank and 401k. When you're a victim, you don't control anything. But when I finally got to the point going, you know what? I am the big dummy that hired him. So it was my fault. So when you start accepting responsibility, when you start listening to the right people, when you change your environment, when you change your perspective, when we do something different, the same thinking, the same behaviors, the same mindset that got us to where we are is not the same thoughts and mindsets that take us to the next level. It takes a different way of thinking. And if we don't think the world is changing, right? Everything is changing. I met the founder of, what's the big real estate company? Not Remax, but
EXP.
EXP. So I met the founder of EXP. He said, look, you either disrupt or you die. And he went out and created $1 billion brand by doing it different than every other real estate company. So we either disrupt. If you look at Netflix and Blockbuster, Blockbuster laughed Netflix out of the office when they were going to offer to sell for only $50 million. Like, why would we change things? Because things are changing, right? Well, yeah, but we get to charge people a lot of money for late fees. And if it's working like this, why would we change it? Well, they're a dinosaur. They're extinct. They no longer exist. Netflix dominates. So the world is changing. We don't have to understand all of it, but you need to research and then go with your gut, see what you feel good about, find a project that you can get behind. Tomorrow, we're going to the Grow Ranch. So it's fascinating that we can take rewards, go to the Grow Ranch and purchase produce or beef and fruits and vegetables for our family. These are real world projects, real world revenue, proof of action. These are projects that are going to impact the world. These are not like a meme coin that Elon Musk tweeted, and we're just trying to catch the pump and dump. So when you start to really get a passion, and for me, it was just knowing who I was listening to, doing my research, and then finally going, you know what? I am never going to understand all of it. I don't understand how a brown cow eats green grass, produces white milk, and makes ice cream. I just like it. And every now and then I eat it, right? And so not too much dairy. But anyway, I appreciate you inviting me on. Hopefully and again, remember, time is of the essence. Most people, when this replay is sent to them, the promotion is over. Now, is it still going to be an amazing deal through the 10th? Yes. But if you're looking to get in at the price of $2,500, if you buy 5 of the same brand, you get 1 free, and you have the hosting promotion, which can be $300 in value to $1,200 in value. All of that, now is the time you ring the bell. You're calling up people because some people are like, oh, I missed the replay. Oh, I was tied up with the kids. Life gets in the way. If it hadn't for you been calling them, communicating, making sure, hey, listen, do you know about it? Do you understand it? Let me share with you what that means to you, Tracy, right? Because they're tuned into their favorite radio station. What's in it for them? WIIFM. Is that something you want to do? Yes or no? If not, it's okay. But if it is, let me walk you through it. Are you in front of your computer? Let me show you how you log in. Let me show you how you purchase it. Let me remind you, you want to do 5. We're going to do a couple of different transactions. So you're helping them walk through that entire process. So anyway, didn't mean to go off on that long
Man,
tangent.
no,
Hopefully got some good stuff.
I'm gonna go buy a couple of the new launch stacks, the fast stacks, maybe some wind stacks like after that. So thank you so much. I know you got to go speak. Guys, this is why I love this company. We get speakers like you can't top Darin Kidd, but we get speakers like this that come on that I don't know about you, but I'm motivated and I have to go to bed. This sucks. So get back with the person that invited you. I'll get this replay out everywhere I can possibly get it out. And timing's of the essence to get this for a lot cheaper. By the time this goes 8 days from now, you'll probably be able to buy an extra hyper node for $1,300 on what you would spend then compared to what you would spend right now. So, yeah, I'll see you guys we're going to do a Zoom on Sunday night. Next week, we're trying to get on Kathy Roberts, maybe another CEO as well. So that's what we do here. So thanks everybody for jumping on. You guys have a wonderful night and have fun with your families. See ya.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks.
All right.
Thanks, Darin.
Thank you, Darin. That was great.